Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, that was tepid. That was tepid. You know, spring's here, and our flowering trees are still flowering, which is fantastic. It's a beautiful night. We have beautiful people coming to our service to celebrate all kinds of wonderful things, to commemorate memory, to come together in community, which I'll talk about in the middle of the service. And so I'll say again, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Like that was so much better. And you guys have it down. You nailed it. It's fantastic. So the service we're going to do tonight is called Mostly Musical Shabbat. We have our house band, the Temple Sinai Band. I always joke that one of my favorite young people in this congregation was a man named Hirsch Merenstein, who works for the mayor's office now, for Dan Gilman's office, excuse me. And he always thought that the band should be called White Sabbath. And I told him he was way too young to get that reference. He said, no, I dig Ozzy and all that kind of thing. How many of you knew Rabbi Ilson? Raise your hand if you knew Rabbi Ilson. This is the service that he would hate, okay? Because there's clapping and dancing and all kinds of things, and Sophia, we're going to have a lot of fun, all right? So we're going to start out without our slides, right?
So we can turn to, hold on, page 336.
Please find your prayer books. We're going to hope that the tech that allows us to show slides of our prayers works, and if not, we'll be in our book.
Page 336.
I'm sorry, it was 339 in the black numbers. At the very top of the page, you'll find the words to Esa Enai. This is likely not a version of Esa Enai that you've ever heard before. This is written or arranged by a group called Nefesh Mountain that does Jewish bluegrass. So we'll expect to see tapping toes, snapping fingers, whatever gets you in the mood. And the words are quite simple. Esa Enai el Heharim me'ayin yavo ezri. I lift my eyes to the mountains, right? We know these words. From where does my help come? Esa Enai ezri me'im Adonai. My help comes from Adonai, the maker of heaven and earth. So feel free to join in however it moves you.
And if you see me coming downstairs and grabbing kids, it's because we like to circle dance. We love to dance at Mostly Musical Shabbat. And if you're shy, I saw your look. I'm not dancing with the rabbi. It's okay. But, some girls want to dance with me, and that's okay. And even Sophia might dance with you. We'll see. But I don't want to get her out of breath before her kiddush. Okay?
I lift my eyes to the mountains. I lift my eyes to the mountains. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help? Where does my help? Where does my help come from? Now join on the second time. I lift my eyes to the mountains. I lift my eyes to the mountains. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help? Where does my help? Where does my help come from? Oh, Esa Enai el Hehari me'ayin yavo ezri. Try the Hebrew. Esa Enai el Hehari me'ayin yavo ezri. Esa Enai, Esa Enai. Same words again. Esa Enai, Esa Enai. I lift my eyes to the mountains. I lift my eyes to the mountains. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help? Where does my help? Where does my help come from? shamayim, ose shamayim, ose shamayim v'aretz. That's where my help, that's where my help, that's where my help comes from.
Okay, guys, come up for candles and kiddush. Okay? Remember the way you did? Oh, we don't applaud during services. If you want, you can say Yesher Koach. Say Yesher Koach. Oh, if you're going to say it like you mean it, right? 1, 2, 3.
Yasher Koach.
Hopefully many of those during the evening. At this point in our service, we light candles to celebrate the beginning of Shabbat, and we celebrate with Kiddush, the sanctification of wine or juice. It's our custom for people to rise as they are able. This is on page 2-3 of your book going from right to left.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we be our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Whole thing? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Please remain standing for Kiddush, the sanctification of wine and juice.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu b'chata ve'otanu kiddashto mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
It's just juice. Have a drink. Give some to your folks. Will everybody please find a seat? The first part of the Shabbat service for Kabbalat Shabbat is called Kabbalat Shabbat because we are welcoming, we're receiving. Lekabel means to receive in Hebrew, and we receive it through various psalms that we sing and songs. We're going to do a really, really recent song in just a minute or two. It's only 500 years old, called Lecha Dodi, but the psalms are 3,000 years old. And so the next psalm is on page 12.
Yes, page 12.
Page 12. It's 130 in the brackets there if you have brackets. It's called Lechu Neranana, which means let us rejoice.
Did I do a good job?
Yalla, ya, la, la, la. Neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana, haladonai. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana, haladonai. Naria, naria, latzur yishenu, nikadma fana bitoda. Naria, naria, latzur yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana, haladonai. Lechu neranana, lechu neranana, lechu neranana, haladonai.
Once again. again. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Nagad Mafana B'toda. Naria, Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Lizmirot Naria lo. Lecho neranena, lecho neranena, lecho neranena l'Adonai. Lecho neranena, lecho neranena, lecho neranena l'Adonai.
The second,
Seg.
okay. We need a page.
Page 13.
Oh, look at that.
Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ya'alos Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 ay. Az Yiranu kol atzei Ya'ar.
Look at the translation. All of nature will dance and rejoice. By the way, we're part of nature. Say Ya'ar. Az Yiranu kol atzei Ya'ar Ya'alos. Come on, Jews can clap on 2 and 4. I know it's not natural, but we'll do it. Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 Ya'alos Sadai. B'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 ay. Az Yiranu kol atzei Ya'ar. On the other one. Az Yiranu kol atzei Ya'ar. We have all of the UK clapping here, I want you to know.
Kol atzei Ya'ar. Az Yiranu kol atzei Ya'ar Ya'alos Sadai.
B'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai.
Ay, 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 ay,
Ya'alos Sadai.
B'chol asher bo Ya'alos Sadai. Ay, 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 ay.
Sheldon Lowe wrote this, and we love it here. In the last verse, I'll tell people to rise and face the rear. Follow my stage directions. You won't go wrong. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat kala lechadodi. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'litilan chadodi. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela lechadodi. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki hi mekor ha'beracha. Nerosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh v'machshava. Lechadodi, lechadodi. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lechadodi. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki ha'orek u'mi'ori, uri, uri, shashiraberi, kevod Adonai, ha'ikni lechadodi, likrat kala. Please rise and face the rear. We're going to greet the bride as she comes in. The last part of the last verse. The words are up behind you.
Shabbat,
Boi v'shalom, ateret bala,
gam v'simcha v'tzola, toch emunei am zekula.
We bow to the left. Boi chala. Then to the right. Boi chala. Turn around again.
Adodi, Likrat Kala, Elei Shabbat,
Nikabela.
Adodi, Likrat Kala,
B'nei Shabbat. Nikabela.
Adodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela. Adodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela.
There's a double clap here. Wait. Get your hands ready. Right.
Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Once again. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nil Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Last verse.
Zeichem Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Last time. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We rise as we're able for the Chatzi Kaddish that ends the section of our service leading to the Baruch Hu, the call to worship.
Yikadal, Yikadash, Merabah.
Amen.
Bi'alma divrach hirutei, v'yamlich malchutei. B'chai echon uvyom echon, uv'chayei dechol bet Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uv'izman kariv, v'yimeru. Amen. Yesh merah. Ya la 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 ya la la la. Ya la 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 ya la la la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim ma'ariv aravim בחוכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, מסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם, ברקיע כרצונו. יאללה לי לי יאללה לי לי, יאללה לי לי יאללה לי לי, יאללה לי לי יאללה לי יאללה לי יאללה לי לי יאללה לי לי.
Together, let us bless the source of life, source of darkness and light, heart of harmony and chaos, creativity and creation. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשופטנו, וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ומצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו, ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם בלילה, נגי יומם בלילה. ועבדך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Please rise as you're able as we prepare for Shema.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. We will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai
ומלכותו לעולם ועד. שמע, שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני
Thank you. Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We join together in English. Love your God
with every heartbeat,
with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today, and teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gates. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Who is like you, God of mystery and majesty, distant and present, thundering and quiet, the beginning and the end, the atom and the cosmos, the darkness and the light, the one and the all, pillar and foundation, artist of sea and sky, author of the miraculous and the mundane, source of life, blessing and sustaining creation. Together, who is like you, glorious in holiness, to whom we praise, to whom we give thanks, the God who redeemed us from Egypt, the God who parted the sea, the God to whom Miriam and Moses led us in song.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, עושה פלא. Join us this time. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, רוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי אנו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, עושה פלא. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלון מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה
continue with the words of Hashkivenu, asking for peace and protection through the night.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shmamrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha. Amen.
Shelter us beneath thy wings, beneath thy wings,
O Adonai, guard us from all harmful things. O Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael
Come on, Sophia.
ve'al Yerushalayim.
Sophia's going to come up now, lead us in Vishamru. If you don't know what this text is, it's Exodus 31, 16 to 17, which tells us that Shabbat is ours, and we get to enjoy it every week. And if you miss one Shabbat, there's another one coming. The punishment for not observing Shabbat is you miss that one, but there's another one coming, and it's our perpetual, our continual. And the screen disappeared, which happens sometimes, so if you want to follow in the book, you might just tap that. That might work. We're on page 44 in your book.
V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam b'ritolam.
Sophia, that was wonderful. We're looking forward to more tomorrow when you lead more of the service yourself.
Thank you.
We want to give you a present from the congregation. This is a party shirt because it says party, which is Pittsburgh Area Reformed Temple Youth. I know you really do care about how you look sometimes. Let's see how it looks on you. Let's do this. Wow. Everybody go, woo. Woo. And it's got Temple sign in huge letters on the back. You can wear it to have fun. You can wear it to garden. You can wear it to go to bed, and whatever you want to do, just as long as you enjoy the fact that we did this together. Shake hands. Shake hands. Over there. Oh, high five. Excuse me. I am so lame. Here you go. Go be with your family, okay?
We're not clapping. We're not
Say,
clapping.
wait. We're not
Yasher
doing that.
Koach. Remember, Yasher Koach.
Yes, say yes, go. 1, 2, 3. Yes, you're going.
And we're going to continue on page 46, I believe.
Actually, it is on
46.
page 46, the beginning of the Amidah. The prayer said standing. The central part of the service, please find it in your book. We begin with a line from a psalm which asks that we do the hardest thing, that we be able to pray in the first place. Turn the page. 48.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך חוזר מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדו מלך, מלך מביט ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל.
Turn the page.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated, everyone.
At the top of page 55.
Right. Why don't you lead? You can hold a prayer book and a baby at the same time.
I can also put the prayer book right here.
There you go.
Amazing what a stand does. In Hebrew, this is called an amud, by the way. Amud. Just thought you should learn something. Okay, page 55. Because the computer is not learning anything. On page 55, at the top of the page, we join together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. At the top of page 57, Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. And for our next prayer, which would normally be found on pages 58 and 59, I'm actually going to offer a different blessing, one that I had, in fact, or actually Cantor Berman had suggested for us for tonight by Rabbi Naomi Levy. You have blessed me with many gifts, God, but I know it is my task to realize them. May I never underestimate my potential. May I never lose hope. May I find the strength to strive for better, the courage to be different, the energy to give all that I have to offer. Help me, O God, to live up to all the goodness that resides within me. Fill me with the humility to learn from others and the confidence to trust my own instincts. We join together at the bottom of 58. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lechana el lehodot. And we continue with Shalom Rav on page 60.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim, Tasim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon. אתה ומלך אדון לכל השלום.
Shalom Rav.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Join us. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim, Tasim le'olam. Tasim, Tasim le'olam. Tasim, Tasim le'olam.
Baruch atah Adonai, Havarech et amo Yisrael, Bashalom. Take a few moments now to offer the prayers of our hearts, the prayers that we don't share even with the people sitting right next to us.
shalom.
Bimroma.
Huyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav
Huyase shalom aleinu
ve'al kol Yisrael
ve'imeru
amen.
Ose shalom bimromav Huyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav Huyase shalom aleinu
ve'al kol
Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom. You want to twirl? I'll twirl you. Here, twirl. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ve'imeru amen. So all the dance we got. It's our custom, even in an evening service, not to let an opportunity go by without offering a mishaberach for those who are in need of healing. And every single one of us here tonight knows somebody who is struggling. Some of us know people who are in hospitals who are terrified about what might happen in just the next couple days. And many of us know those in nursing homes that might face a long weekend without even one visitor. And so many of us know people who struggle every day and battle the daily battles of sobriety or carry a stone on the heart. And it's so hard for them to get through. And so I'd like to look at your part of the congregation, and I'd like you to play softly in the background. And what I'd like you to do is consider maybe saying the name of somebody for whom you're wishing healing. You could actually just hold it deep in your heart, of course, but you might say something out loud and add that name to the collective heart. So the person for whom you're praying, we can pray for too. And then when the song is sung, you can simply listen. You can say amen. If you know the song, you can sing along. So as I look at part of the congregation, please feel free to say a name. The only rule is you can't raise your hand because class is out for the weekend, right? Just call it out. Say the name.
Chava Batili, Joe Jarmel. Gather up the brokenness and bring it to me now. The fragrance of those promises you never dared Emmanuel. The splinters that you carry, the hurt you left behind. Come healing of the body, come healing of the mind. And let the heavens hear it, the penitential hymn. Come healing of the spirit, come healing of the limb. Behold the gates of mercy in arbitrary space, and none of us deserving the cruelty or the grace. O solitude of longing where love has been confined, come healing of the body, come healing of the mind. Oh, see the darkness yielding that tore the night apart. Come healing of the reason, come healing of the heart.
Page 253. Right in the middle of the page, Hebrew and English. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishebeirach imotenu mikor habracha liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat. There's a wonderful prayer that we do often that says each of us comes in here with a different need, a different desire, a different burden. And yet this week's Torah portion called Kedoshim, and yes, we're on the Israeli calendar, which is why it's Kedoshim and not Achrei Mot, tells us that despite all of our being wrapped up in our individual issues, our own surahs, as we say, that somehow we must come together as a community. The Torah says, "V'daber Adonai el Moshe," God said to Moses, "Daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael." It usually says, speak to the Israelites. It says, kol adat. Adat means an assembly, a congregation. Speak to everybody. Speak to everyone and say the following: Kedoshim tehiyu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. For you shall be holy, for I, Adonai, your God, am holy. It doesn't say kadosh tihiyeh or kedoshat tihiyi. It doesn't say you individually. It means all of us have a responsibility. And now we ask ourselves all the time, what does being holy mean? What does holy mean at all? Some of you heard the story ad nauseum. I'll tell it again for those who haven't. In 4th grade at Temple Sinai in Tenafly, New Jersey, I had Mrs. Schwartz. And we were studying what was holy. And I was 10. Mrs. Schwartz, what does holy mean? And she went, it means sacred. Mrs. Schwartz, what does sacred mean? She said, Jamie, you're bothering me. It means sanctified. Mrs. Schwartz, and she said, put your hand down or I'll send you to the office. But I was 10. Mrs. Schwartz, what does sanctified mean? It means consecrated. Go to the office. Thanks for nothing, Mrs. Schwartz, right? Kadosh, holy, means that which is separated from the ordinary and elevated in religious purpose, elevated in spiritual purpose. And we, in Judaism, dare to say that there are things in the material world that are holier than other things. your Kiddush cups, and your candlesticks for Shabbat, and your mezuzah. These are things, and you don't use a jelly jar glass for Kiddush. You could, but you don't. They're things that are holy that we declare, that tradition declares to be holy. And there's time. We say that not all time is the same. We often say every day is a day that ends in Y, except Shabbat. Shabbat ends in a T. It's only different if you decide, along with all of us, that it's holy. And then that one other level that so many of us know, that you actually get to choose another human being and say, Harei at mikudeshet, you are holy to me in marriage. We think that the world is unholy and we have to make conscious decisions all the time. And God, right now, we live in an unholy world. We live in an unholy world where people are hurt every single day for all kinds of reasons. And we live in a world where people are not given basic needs for all kinds of reasons. And we live in a world where the world itself is at the point of breaking. High school kids all over the country took an 11-minute break from class to go protest. Whether adults are doing enough about climate change because they wonder what kind of world they have in their hands and what world they're going to have. And so our Torah portion is yelling at us, saying, Kedoshim Tihiyu, you shall be holy. And holy is not simply a state of mind, it's a choice. And what is that choice? Our Torah portion goes on to say over and over again, to be holy is to revere your father and mother. To be holy is to observe Shabbat. To be holy is to pay workers on time. To be holy is to not curse the deaf. How would the deaf know, by the way? How would the deaf know if you cursed them? Who would know? God. That's why the phrase ends, Ani Adonai Elohechem, I Adonai am your God. Don't steal. Don't put up stumbling blocks before the blind. There was not a problem in the desert of people putting up sawhorses in front of blind people. Oh, got another one. There was a problem of people taking advantage of people's inability to see what was going on in their lives. And this whole part ends, not only should you not take vengeance, you must love your neighbor as yourself. Rabbi Akiva says it's the most important of all the 613 mitzvot. And so what I ask in just the 2 minutes that I'm speaking tonight is that you understand that Kedusha is a choice. That almost anything in our world can be desecrated. And Jews are told over and over again to take time, material, time, and relationship and elevate it. I guarantee you, if every one of you walks out of here tonight deeming someone holy, deeming time holy, deeming the world holy, and we do it together, the world will be a little better off tomorrow than we might feel it is today. Kedoshim Tihiyu, you shall be holy, Ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem, for I, Adonai, your God, am holy. Let us strive to do more, to be more than we see in the world around us. May that be our challenge, our task for today and tomorrow, for ourselves and our children and our grandchildren. Yes, that's you. As together we all say, Amen. Just a few quick announcements before we proceed with Aleinu. I want to thank our band. Thank you very much. I know your numbers are depleted tonight, but you're doing great. So thank you very, very much. This Sunday, our building is closed because there is a holy ritual of Pittsburgh, a secular ritual called the Marathon that must take place. And so we were not having any programming. I do want to tell you about two things that are coming up. Next Friday night is our second annual Folk Shabbat. Do you want to do our Hebrew prayers to Joni Mitchell? Come next Friday night. And so many others, right? So many other of the people you grew up with, whether it's Bob Dylan, Peter, Paul, and Mary, whatever. Yes?
And we'll be doing a number of those in English.
Right.
With closing with, matching it up with the kind of like the left side of the prayer book, right? So when you have these.
So be
other
creative
poems
interpretations.
And so on, ending with the same intention. So you'll have to come and experience it. I can't describe it, but you'll be able to sing along.
So her mic wasn't on. She said, look, all the folk songs you love from the 60s, it's going to be done to prayers. Come on and have fun, okay? On the 14th of May, which is a Tuesday, one of my dear friends and one of the most famous Jewish journalists in the world, Yossi Kahn Halevi, is going to be speaking for free at the Jewish Community Center. The night before, he's going to be speaking at the Presbyterian Seminary to talk to them about some of the challenges that Jews and Presbyterians have faced in this town and in their movement. Yossi Kahn Halevi wrote an incredible book called Letters to My Palestinian Neighbor, which is on the bestseller list of the New York Times. It's an incredible book. He's an incredible man who started with the Jewish Defense League in New York and ended up as being one of the incredible, thoughtful, humanistic voices in Israel that understands the needs for Israel's defense needs and yet understands the humanity of the other side as well. He's an extraordinary human being. I urge you to come and see him Tuesday night, the 14th. Tomorrow, I think we're going to have a bat mitzvah. If you come, right? Come for the bat mitzvah tomorrow. Tomorrow there's also a bat mitzvah seminar. There is also Torah study at 8:30 in the morning. And at 9:15 we have our informal minyan upstairs in the Barnett Chapel. And so much is going on. There's Pride Shabbat, which is the last Shabbat of this month, and other things going on into June. We are busy, busy, busy. Please don't see there's not enough to do. So if you have any questions, please come and join us in the Oneg Shabbat afterwards. Everybody is invited to come enjoy dessert with us.
And before we continue with Aleinu, we're going...
This is a sleeping baby.
Yes.
I think the sleeping baby was more important than our computer tonight.
I agree. She also apparently made the computer not work. But we are in the middle of a period called the Omer, the time between the first day of Pesach and Shavuot. And anyone know how many days there are between, not including either one on either side, but between first day of Pesach and Shavuot? 49 days.
Yes, Jewish education works.
Which is a week of weeks. And so we say, we count in Jewish tradition each of these days, we count up rather than down. And so if you would like to join me, we are on page 278.
Now I hear it's easy this year because Friday night Shabbat started Pesach, right? So we can actually count pretty easily that we know.
On Shabbat, it's easy to count.
Right.
But it's the same every year.
I understand. The same 49 numbers. We don't use, but I'm saying tonight it should be pretty easy. It's 14, right?
Yes, you did just announce that before I got a chance to do that.
I just said a number. I didn't announce it.
הנני מוכנה ומזומנת לקיים מצוות עשה של ספירת העומר. Together, I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Hayom abasar yom shehem shnei shavuot la'omer. Today is the 14th day, which is 2 weeks of the Omer.
Beautiful. So if you'll turn in your books to 282 in the middle of the page, you'll find that we use the traditional version of Aleinu, and as you are able, please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, עתיד גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונה. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר ביד אדוני, למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
When we review our lives, we're often fond of looking for the comfort that comes at the end. We say Psalm 23, or we quote Ecclesiastes, to everything there is a season. And there are times when that simply doesn't hold. Psalm 23, the Psalm of Comfort, only makes sense if you ever read Psalm 22, which starts, Elohi, Elohi, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why so far from my anguish roaring? And sometimes we note deaths that did not happen in their time, and yet we honor those lives so precious to us. We still feel their heartbeats. We still see their sparkle in their eyes. We still feel their presence even though they're gone. So with words of love and faith, we honor the memory of Shauna King, whose yahrzeit is this week. May her name be a blessing not just to her family, but to all who knew her. May the best parts of her be blessings for her generations of family yet to come, as together we all say.
Amen.
Amen. It's our custom when we read the yahrzeit list of deaths whose anniversaries occur in the coming week, if you are saying Kaddish for one of these people, we'll ask you to rise in place as you are able. And then at the end, we'll say the names of those who have died in more recent days. And then at the very end, we'll ask everyone to rise with our mourners. We deeply believe that no mourner should ever need to stand alone as they say their Kaddish. This week we remember the yahrzeits of Matthew Arkin, Sonny Babkis, and Judith Baker, Robert Benedict, Rebecca Bleiberg, and William Bloomer, Zerna Cohen, Joseph East and Barnett Fain, Sarah Feldman, Alice Frankel, and Stanley Freed, Robert Gelman, Samuel Goldblum, Saul Gross and Jenny Hanlon, Larry Heller, Sarah Holstein, Abraham Honig, Shauna Leah King, Edward Kravitz, Lena Krieger, and Irene Lampel, Clinton Lando, Gloria Leventon, and Irving Levitt, Jean Lilienthal, Goldie Darling Love, and Joshua Myers, Carol Ann Murphy and Marvin Music, Rose Netzer, Rose B. Oberfield, Ludwig Ottenheimer and Morris Pariser, Morris H. Perlman and Frank Perlmutter, Brenda R. Pierce and Sylvia Pinellas, William Reiner, Joseph Rosenthal and Lawrence Schneirov, Earl Schwartz and Sadie Schwartz, and Martha Brown Schwendinger, Adeline Silberstein, Jerry Smoke, Jerome Solomon and Annie Stoffman, Francis Lefko Sokolsky and Fanny Tofshinsky, Harvey Waldholtz and Bob Wolf. And now we remember those whose recent deaths we still mourn: Maury Sable, Nancy Ruth Bett, Lois Gibson, Jerome Krasenstein, Billy Joe Jordan, and Julian Samuel Ansel, Shirley Polamos Cochran, Marianne Stevenson, Walt Rudolph, and Sidney Rosenberg. We stand with our mourners as they say their Kaddish on page 598 in the brackets, 294. Yid Gadal, Yid Kadash, Shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
B'yomad Yivrach Yirateh, V'yamlich Malchuteh, B'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chayeh D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kari V'yimru.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Le'almei Almaya.
Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitpa'ar, Yitromam, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitalev, Yitalal, Shmei Kudsha.
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiram b'yoma v'yimru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleina v'el kol Yisrael v'yimru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleina v'el kol Yisrael, v'kol Yishveteva v'yimru.
Amen.
Amen. May the source of peace in the high heavens cause peace to descend on all of us, all Israel, upon a shattered world needing us to heal it, upon all of us who mourn our beloved dead. As together we say,
Amen.
Amen. Our final song tonight is a new song. It's called Elech Hamda Libi. The words are old, the tune is new, and it's a bopping song. So I hope that the kids start bopping. And any kids who want to join us up here on the pulpit, come on up now. We need you up here for the blessing for cookies anyway.
Elech Hamda Libi.
We've got a page number?
Again.
Elech Hamda Libi. Page 335 in your book. Elech Hamda Libi. Elech Hamda Libi. This is the desire of my heart. Hamda Libi. Elech Hamda Libi. Elech Hamda Libi. Elech Hamda Libi. You want to come up?
Elech Hamda Libi.
Come be with me.
Elech Hamda
Come
Libi.
be with me. Come be with me.
Elech Hamda Libi.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Elech Hamda Libi.
Bring your brother.
Come
on up. Come on up. We're going to do cookies in a second. Litalem. Elechem Libi.
Back to the top.
No. You can't touch the guitar.
No. Elechem dalibi.
Elechem dalibi. Elechem dalibi.
Elechem dalibi. Elechem dalibi. Elechem dalibi. Elechem dalibi.
Come here.
Hey
guys, I need you up here. I need you up here. The Temple Sinai dancers. Lechem dalibi. Last time. Lechem dalibi. You know this.
Lechem dalibi. Last time.
Lechem dalibi.
Lechem dalibi. Lechem dalibi. Lechem dalibi.
Bruchim atem b'voachem, bruchim atem b'tzeitchem. May atav olam. May you be blessed every place you go into God's world. May you come back in peace and in friendship and in love in God's world as well as together we all say. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei mizonot.
Amen.
Praise to you, honor and our God, ruler of all, who makes all kinds of cookies and baked goods, including, you have to let go of it, somebody else has to eat of it too, animal crackers. As together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
In the Falk Auditorium.